read a book or watched a TV show or a movie or even played a video game and thought, I really like these two characters. I think they should get together. Or have you ever liked one character in particular so much that you would ship them with just about anyone just to imagine how they would be in a relationship? Now, I'm not here to argue what ship is best. The Genshin community doesn't need that. All that matters was I shipped these two, and me as a wannabe writer got really interested in why a brooding, angsty rich guy would ever fall in love with a plain flower shop girl who all she does is whine all day about her crush on him. He would be settling, and she would have no growth because she would win her crush over from afar without really getting to know it. That's the problem with these. They don't even know I exist, crushes, because nothing really solid can come from it. They literally don't know you exist, and you couldn't possibly know them because they haven't shown the real them to you, because they don't know you exist. I suppose you could find out who they are by following them around, but that would be stalking. Then an idea popped into my head. This sounds like the perfect romance writing exercise. Take a vaguely well-established character, in this case Diluc, and the most one-dimensional character in fiction, an NPC, Donna, and try to write them with chemistry while still being true to the parts of their characters that is established. While you're at it, try to write it in the same style as the story is told. While thinking all this, I realized I was planning to write a fanfiction, and fanfictions are notorious for being badly written. They really do have their perks, so I thought to hell with it. Let's do it. But if I wanted to make this as authentic as possible, I was going to have to do some proper research. Get down into the nitty-gritty, make sure I knew everything about everyone. I was going to have to come up with some sort of plot. Now, romance is not the genre of this game in the slightest. I'm not sure how many romance games there are outside of dating sims. This is the genre of this story. It was going to be a fan fiction, after all. However, action is the genre of most games, and personally, I think a good romance needs to have something to keep it going aside from the actual romance. What brings these two together? What keeps them together? How can Diluc come to see Donna as more than a person on the street, and how can Donna see Diluc as someone she actually can get to know? This is where the research comes in. I hear there's a Genshin manga. I consume it with the ferocity because I'm obsessed with Genshin, and it's the whole reason I'm writing the story to begin with. Here's what I find. Diluc has a Cecilia garden. It's slight, but that could be a link between the two. Why not have Diluc needing a gardener and Donna, who probably knows a bit about flowers, take the job? Now, I go mad with this knowledge. I'm running all around the Dawn Winery trying to find where the Cecilia garden could be, or this veranda bandstand thing could be. That looks kind of familiar. It could be an unlocked Shrine of Depths. Now, there are differences. The one in the manga has cylindrical pillars, and the Shrines of Depths are more like walls. But I'm not taking the manga too literally, because Amber has a proper glider, which isn't the same in the game at all, so yeah. So then, I start looking around for the closest Shrine of Depths to the Dawn Winery. Okay, there aren't really any that's close. There's this one, and this one over here. Okay, I'll check this third one, but it's no closer than the other two, and wait. Okay, there's no Cecilias near any of these places, but it's literally called Cecilia Garden. Also, why is Diluc of all people growing them? So I dig into the lore of this place. The city that is now Stormterror's lair used to be known as Old Mondstadt. It was ruled by a tyrannical god of storms, the Caribbean, 2,600 years ago. Due to the similar architecture of the surrounding ruins and its geography, it's likely the people who built Cecilia Garden were the people of Old Mondstadt, either after or during the rule of the Caribbean. This is further hinted at as the nameless bard had a Cecilia on his design, as well as Venti. Venti also uses Cecilias to level up material. The people of Cecilia Garden may have grown them as some sort of tribute to the rebellion. I don't know. What I do know is that along with Venti and the nameless bard, another participant was a red-haired knight who is highly implied to be Diluc's ancestor. So perhaps the Ragnavinder family grows Cecilias as respect to their ancestry. Okay, so we got the why. Honestly, when I first read the manga, I thought Diluc was a descendant of Vanessa, due to them both having red hair and both being important characters in the manga, and that was why Ragnavinder family was considered nobility in Mondstadt, till I was researching it and I found Ragnavinder actually was already a noble name during Vanessa's time. This man, Ragnavinder helped Vanessa out during her rebellion in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago. However, doing more research on Vanessa, I determined Diluc must be a descendant of her as well, or a reincarnation, or something, because Vanessa is a Muratan, her people are from that land, which was ruled over by Murata, who was a Pyro-Archon. The red hair and the pyro ancestry wasn't enough. Later, when Vanessa dies, she becomes one of the four winds, known as the Falcon of the West. Anyway, that sorts out the inciting incident of sorts. 3 years ago, there are Cecilias, now there isn't. Maybe it was something to do with Dvalin. Diluc would like to grow them. According to Flora, growing Cecilias is hard, but some more digging with Lisa's story quest, we learn that Donna does actually grow them. This is all playing out better than expected. Now, what about the conflict? Diluc is a secret vigilante, and he saved Donna once, playing into that superhero trope of the girl loving both identities and being conflicted but doesn't know they're one and the same. In it, we learn that the Abyss really don't like Diluc for his vigilante shenanigans, even though the Traveler killed more of them than Diluc has. Although I think I know why the Abyss aren't making targeted attacks on the Traveler. And Donna does actually have a connection to the Abyss. It was a book she borrowed from the library that was stolen by an Abyss mage, and I remember playing this quest before I even knew Diluc existed and wondering why the Abyss mage stole it. The Abyss mage says it contains a secret, but we never actually find out what it is. The book is The Pale Princess and the Six Pygmies, which, if you read the translated titles, makes clear this is mostly based off Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But it's the contents of this fairy tale that's more interesting. It's meant to have 7 volumes, but of the time of this recording, only 1 volume has been made available. Now, I don't think this makes Donna particularly special to the overarching story. If it did, she'd be more than an NPC. But it would be enough for a fanfiction if she's the only one in Mondstadt who really likes the story and wants to get other volumes. The Abyss Mages can't get it from the library thanks to Lisa, but tries to steal the book when Donna borrows it. Who knows, maybe it was an Abyss Mage that was attacking Donna when Diluc saved her as a Dark Knight hero. Maybe Donna, now working in Cecilia Garden for Diluc, finally borrows the next volume of the book. The Abyss Mage goes to steal it, hoping to avoid Lisa's wrath this time, but instead finds Diluc. Diluc kills the mage, but becomes suspicious of the book, investigates, plot ensues. So that was just some interesting lore I found. I did find something interesting about the Pale Princess and the Six Pygmies, but I'll save that for the next video. Thanks for watching this summary of findings for my obsessive fanfic research. See you next time for more chaos.